On this video, I will show you how I installed my Goldstrike LED lighted flagpole on my 2018 Honda Goldwing DCT Tour airbag. Before you install the lighted flagpole, you must install the Goldstrike mounting bracket that is sold separately. The flagpole kit comes with the rest of the appropriate hardware you need to mount this onto the mounting kit on your motorcycle. The flagpole itself comes in a nice chrome finish. Next, you have to open up the trunk by having your key in the on position by pressing the button. Raising this up. This is the panel we have to remove in order to get to where we're going to mount this. The seat back comes off after removing these screws at the top towards the lower part of this fairing. Towards the lower part of this back hatch for the trunk. If you have umbrage installed, you must remove these two 5mm bolts on both sides of the backrest in order to be able to take that off without problems. So again, you put these 5mm head and take them off. We're going to remove these two screws on this side as well as that screw there. Same two on that side as well as that top screw to remove the backrest. We're going to use a JIS screwdriver. Again, it looks like a Phillips head screwdriver, but it's different. You want to use one of those to keep from stripping these bolts in there. Do the same thing for the other side. Once we got those screws off, we took those off for a reason, because we need to get to the hinge bolts underneath here. So you can let this back down and lift up on the seat. Don't even have to wiggle it because they have other accessories installed. Don't forget, you got to remove these top two screws here as well, as I forgot them. So take these out. Once you get those out, lift up on this seat, and there's a connector here for the heated seat. You must disconnect. You press on the lever here, and it comes right off. We're going to remove these two outer screws that secure the trunk lid to the hinge. Make sure you grab the right hinge for the side you're going to do on. For those who don't know, you should mount the American flag on the right hand side of your motorcycle. There's a big R on this bracket right there. So make sure you use the proper one. You could get two, one for the left and for the right, but only enough hardware for one of them. Make sure you clean these areas off because you will be applying a protective tape on here to keep the bracket from scratching your paint. So do clean this off, then rub it with some alcohol to make sure it sticks well. You know where to put it once you place the bracket there. Again, apply the alcohol to the areas you're going to put the protective padding on. That's all you need. First, you're going to put your bracket in place to see how it's going to fit, so you can know where to install the cushion that will keep from scratching the surface. So once you get that in place, all you gotta do is move that out of the way, peel this back. Once you peel this back, you'll place this right here. You're gonna place it right here like that. Your brackets and go over it like such. To me, getting this stuff off and started, one of the hardest parts. So again, make sure you got your correct side. You see where you're going to place this. And then you go around the curve with it. And that's down, that should protect your paint. Now you will place your bracket. The tools you need for this job are included in the flag kit, not in the hardware kit for this bracket. So what you're going to do is place a spacer in the first hole. Put the washer against this bolt. Put this in place and put your bolt in. Finger tight so you can get the bottom on the end. Again, the spacer, the bracket, the washer on here. Put that through. Go finger tight. And as I was mentioning to you, this tool is in with the lighter flag kit. It doesn't come in the hardware for this bracket. So you screw this back into the bolts. The nuts is already back behind here of the bolts you took out. So you torque these down as per specifications that they're called for in the instructions. Me, I can just calculate it that tight. And you're securing this stuff through plastic. There. It's on there. So what's going to happen next, you're going to lower this down. You're going to place that same strip of protector underneath where this bracket's going to meet your paint here. So that's what we're going to do next. Once we've got our backer peeled back on here, make sure this doesn't roll back on itself. We'll lift this up enough to see where this is going to land. Right there. Put that in. Move it down. Should match to the color of your motorcycle pretty well. There you have it. Your back is installed. I mentioned before, you should always test your equipment before you install it. So the thing to do on this one is go into where your battery is, pull the pin on this, the tab on here and the tab on the left, and this one pulls straight off. And these are the connectors that they're referring to that you can connect this to. So before you hook that up, I will say run your leads to it, make sure your light works properly. And the simple way of doing it, get your power, and take your leads and connect them. See, it works. So now that we know it works, we can hook it up. One of the most important instructions on here shows us how to run the wires. You should pay attention that the wires need to run back across here and down. So it's an important point to make, so it won't pinch on anything. But they also show you how to disassemble this flag to put it together. And I realized, wait a minute, why would we do that? If this is already functional as it is, then all I have to do is bolt this in and run the wires. So there's no need to disassemble this. This black bolt with the black washer has a flat washer and a lock washer. The lock washer goes for the head of the boat. You put this in place and you start screwing in with your finger. Orient your flag the way it needs to, facing forward. This chrome piece facing forward. Then you can use your included hex head tool to tighten it down. Consider some thread locker, some liquid thread locker to put that on there. That would help. I think I'm going to secure this, and I'll consider the thread locker later. Flag will wave like that. Now all we got to do is let this down. See how that fits. Everything fitting fine. It's looking straight. Secured it. Should be good to go. So all we have to do is run the wires through here and out the other end. One of the most important takeaways from the instructions is how to route the wires from the flag across the bracket and into the motorcycle as shown here. Now the fun part of this shouldn't be too hard is we're going to run this wire across this bracket here. We'll probably secure that down with a twist tie and run that across down the side, down through here, behind that speaker and into the seat compartment. I'm going to try to do this using my homemade pulling tool, but use it to push through instead. We'll give that a try, see how that's going to work. Let me take this from the behind so I have more room to work. Take this to it. Down here. I just realized the thing to do may be to loosen this bolt on this panel. So you can get behind that panel. And there it is. Showed up at the bottom. All we got to do is pull that through. After we disconnect it from our tool, pull the tool back through. Straighten out the wires. So what we're going to do now, probably zip tie this to this other wiring harness, check for clearance, sure that can close. It should be good to go. So I'm going to secure this wire down here with the twist tie, and I'm going to do the same thing on this end here and check it to make sure it's going to be able to close. And then we can run the wire all the way over to the battery. I placed the twist tie here where the wire comes down to the bracket, and I'm going to run this across the bracket. Remember, we got to remember this thing, that seat has to come back over this. So I'm going to run that across as flat as I can get it. Then attach another twist tie to this wire harness here to keep it from moving. Mind, this is going to move with this seat. I'm just checking for clearance. If you pull it tight, it should move right with it. So Here it is. The wire that came with this kit looks like it was just long enough to get it from over there to our destination. So the thing to do would be to run this wire underneath the wire harnesses back here. Right up under there. Make sure it's not binding or anything. Make sure you got enough room when the thing pulls back up. So you may want to do a twist tie right about in this area. Bring that back up some. So I can put a twist tie right around this wire. Go underneath those other components. So you primarily want to keep it on the left side of the motorcycle. So you run up under here. That's where we're running straight up under the frame here. Have a bunch of wires going through there, but we're going to include one other. So wires coming through. That'll be enough to make it down there, hopefully. We may have to extend this wire because of how much was given to us here. We're going to cross this side, underneath the frame into the battery compartment. This is barely going to get it, so I personally will extend these wires so I can have more room to connect them without worrying about them binding. So as it turned out, the wire that was included was just a little short, but the kit does come with butt-in connectors that you can use to extend your wire, as well as these connections that goes to your battery. However, the butt-in connector they were using were too small for the extension wires I was using. So I went underneath the frame here and go off to the left side, down here, underneath some of these wires I have here. Get them out of the way. Come back underneath the frame again. Into the battery compartment. That's why I extend these wires, because I pretty much have to go out to come back in again. I was almost too short on that. But anyway, so we're going to take them up behind these other wires. So we can close that door. The negative goes to the bottom screw and the positive goes to this top screw. So all we have to do is take these screws out one at a time. Pull this around to where it goes underneath here. The loop is out of the way of the screw. Screw that down. And do the same thing with the ground wire. Take the bottom screw out. It also comes with, the kit also comes with two sides of the O-ring eyelet connectors. I rather use these more sturdy ones. I'm going to take this back around the ground, the hot wire, and we'll come back in here like such. And screw this back in. Make sure you got enough room. And those down. They should work. Now we're going to check it to make sure the LED lights are working. And if you can see the lights on that flag, they are working. So we can put the cap back on. All we got to do is put this cap back on. To place the cap back on, all you got to do is place it back up here where you got it, where you started from. Make sure your wires are clear. Push that aside. I can lift this one up, line them up with the cap thing. Just snap right back into place. Oh, there, it's back in place. So we're good to go. Then we'll come back around to our flag, and it should come down without scraping. It's good to go. The flag is free to fly with the LED lights on it. All we gotta do now is put this seat back on. Don't forget to hook up your seat connection, which is in here, back on here. Be a simple snap on. It's not very long, so the seat pretty close. We'll get it on there. There, once it's snapped in place, you can move this gap over. Push it down. You got lights on there, make sure you go down behind the lights. Then you reinstall the screws in the back. So all we got to do is put these screws back on. Remember earlier I had taken the wrong third screw out. I've taken those out, and those don't need to come out. These didn't need to come out. You don't want to over tighten these. These are screwing into plastic. So just snug them down real good. You'll be good to go. The only other thing I would mention is that the screw that screws up into the seat is longer than these other two. Screw up into this upper part right there. So you have two different sides. You know the longer one goes in that hole. There you have it. Just tighten them all down, you'll be good to go. I'm reversing what I said. The longer bolt goes in this hole, the outer part on. Otherwise, with that bracket on there, you won't have enough room to tighten that bolt to get it started. So I said the longer of the three goes right there. Don't forget to put the one bolt we took out of this panel over here to get the wiring back in place. There, should be all set. Don't forget to put the handles back on the armrest. Put back passengers back on. Just slide that in the slot with the slight angle going up, pointed up. If you had them, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll show you. This little U-looking part goes up in order to fit properly in that space. Put the other one bolt in. Make sure they're good to go. Threading properly. Once you got that one going in good, come back and tighten up the other one. Snug it down. The same thing for the other side. And this is what it looks like, all lit up. I'll pull the flag out for you so you can see. There you go. A different angle. So all we have to do now is put the seat back on and we'll be good to go. Here the back is with all the lights. Now the lighted flag. Oddly enough, you can see it. When you're going down the road. This is something I wanted to add to my Goldwing for quite some time. After serving in the U.S. military for 22 years, I'm proud to fly the American flag on my motorcycle. I think this thing adds beauty and style to my Goldwing. Thanks for watching.